We're back, people, and today we're breaking down some film on Seattle Seahawks corner Tariq Woolen. I think he's a perfect scheme fit. His week one overall went pretty good. He had some PIs that were called on him, but that was expected. With his length, his play style, likes to get physical. These PIs will happen. He needs to work and clean that up. But overall, I thought he looked good. He was really good job matching vertically. He's just going to excel on a vertical plane, and he's very good at matching up against these bigger wide receivers. He did a great job versus Courtland Sutton. So let's break down this first play right now. Seahawks are running quarter half right here. He's basically on an island playing like pressed here. No help over the top. Does just a really good job staying in position. Good job earlier in this route. He does need to clean up his technical ability with his feet at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't really do too much with his feet here, but his left hand shoots straight into the shoulder. That's really good placement. And then Sutton does this like hand move to sort of swipe the hand down, but he sort of avoids it and gets his hand right into the hip pocket of Sutton. Really good hand usage. Once your hand gets sort of swiped down there, the corner usually falls off balance a little bit, but stays in perfect positioning. Running stride for stride with Sutton. He has the speed, that athleticism to match pretty much any wide receiver vertically, and he has the length. Pretty much the perfect skill set to play on that vertical plane and take away these deep routes, and just in perfect position to make a play at the catch point. I would say this one was more on Sutton getting a little too physical at the catch point. This was definitely not PI. Really good play by Woolen. Definitely loved the earlier part of the rep with the hand usage. Now we can see him activate his feet a little bit more. He does at least shoot his left foot with his hand, which is good. Shoots the right hand as well. Right hand as in he shoots his left hand as the correct hand. But yeah, really good overall first rep. Just the vertical plane is where he's going to make his money this year and probably throughout his career. I know the Seahawks like to run a lot of cover 3 match, and that's exactly what you're doing in this defense. And then I know they've gotten into more of a 2-shell look over the past year and going into this year. That's what they're looking to do, and he can definitely do that as well. Broncos are in more of a little tight alignment here. Judy's motioning over into the bunch, so he has to play outside leverage in the cover 3. Ends up getting turned around a little bit. But you can see the athleticism, the recovery ability right here to flip his hips. Center field turn, basically mirror and match the receiver here. So pretty good stuff here. Kind of plays himself out of positioning here because I know they're lined up more to the inside. So he tries to play to the inside leverage, opens his hips a little bit too early, but does a nice job recovering with the turn there and gets into really good position. He just has that sort of athleticism. Once he can clean up sort of the technical stuff, there's some things he needs to work on his processing ability, but just he is a freaky athlete. He can change directions very well. He's more fluid than you would think for a guy of his size, and obviously has the very like elite straight line speed for pretty much to match all those vertical routes, and then can break, mirror, and match these like comebacks, out routes, things like that. This was one of the PIs. I thought he had a pretty good job here in the first part of the rep. They're running like a mesh concept. They end up passing it off. Woolen comes off of his guy and then gets to Hamler. Pretty much no reason for him to pull on the shoulder there, so he needs to definitely clean that type of stuff up. But pretty good job recognizing the mesh, coming off the drag, and then getting to number 1. Wilson ends up breaking the pocket. It comes more of a broken play. He changes his rep vertically. But I mean, Woolen has the speed, the athleticism, basically, and the length to match and play this at the catch point if he needed to. But he just gets his right hand on there and starts grabbing at the shoulder. Pretty unnecessary. So yeah, definitely needs to work on that. But he definitely has a lot of potential. That's the kind of stuff that can be fixed. It's definitely coachable. He has all the intangibles. Just needs to work on cleaning up the little things. Sort of has that body type and that perfect skill set to play these back shoulder fades in the end zone. Maintains that high inside leverage, playing that high shoulder here. Loves to shoot that left hand, left foot at the same time. He does a good job with that. Stabs right to the left inside part of the shoulder. Really good hand placement, really good timing. Keeps Sutton like off his route, disrupts the timing a bit, and then allows him to maintain the positioning. His hand fighting is really good throughout this game versus Sutton. Kind of shut Sutton down in this area. And it's just, he's like that perfect matchup for a bigger body like Sutton, who's like 6'3", 215-ish, I believe, something like that. And he can just take those guys away. And then he has the athleticism. He can match any receiver with athleticism, and he also has the size physicality to match bigger receivers. And could possibly even match up against tight ends at some point. Another rep that looks very similar, like a lot of his reps here on these vertical reps all looked the same with the left hand, the left foot shooting, staying in basically the same positioning. Everything looked the same, which you'd love to see. Everything just right to the same spot on the shoulder, same positioning, running stride for stride, winning the hand fighting battle. And then right here, he just gets called for the pass interference. The ball's underthrown. That's the biggest problem with here. He just needs to turn back around, locate the ball a little better, but ends up going too far into the receiver when the receiver's trying to fight back for the ball, so it gets called. It's one that maybe he could have gotten away with. I understood why they called it, and it's more of just gets called because of a bad throw or an underthrown ball by Russell Wilson. But this is what they're going for on these types of plays, getting these PIs. So yeah, just needs to be a little more controlled at the catch point because he's super controlled earlier in the rep with his hand usage, the stab, everything, and then stays in perfect positioning, and then just needs to work on either turn. Like once he's in this positioning, he can turn back towards the receiver, play the ball through the hands. Just needs to not panic, stay under control, because then once you're in the, they're gonna call this basically every time, even if the receiver's trying to fight through you. Just it's getting called every single time. The Seahawks just really felt comfortable with him playing on the outside press, sort of on an island here, and he just took Sutton away all game. Nice job there, using a little more of a fake jam with that left hand. Doesn't go for, he gets a little bit of a jam there, but just stays over the top in his positioning. He was playing with those hands all game, the feet. That's pretty high, nuanced, advanced for a younger guy, which I didn't think coming out of college that was really a strength of his, but he's definitely improved in that area. Just needs to improve with his footwork a little bit. But he took away these vertical reps all game. Basically, Sutton has no chance. This ball should have been picked by, I believe that's Quandre Diggs. But just perfect technique, textbook coverage, exactly what you want in this type of defense where you're just they're basically playing quarter, half again, just asking him to cover the vertical stem on the outside and just plays it to perfection. Doesn't really get any better than this. So yeah, as I've been saying the whole video, a very, very good player on a vertical plane. He will take away these vertical routes, the ideal length and athleticism for that. So yeah, I expect him to be a pretty good player. Definitely has potential to be really good. Just needs to clean up some of the mental stuff, some of the flags, the PIs, things like that. And he could be a really, really good player with the Seahawks because he's a perfect scheme fit and really does everything they ask of him. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.